Так, народ, всем привет. Сейчас начнем. Такс. Проверить связь нужно. Проверить связь. Ага, все нормально. Ну что, продолжим. Как я уже в описании написал, шедевр проходить. Третья книга, которая называется «Око бури». Главы с 15 по 21, но мы, наверное, пройдем сегодня 2 главы, как обычно. И одну вступительную главу.
The White Ship. She was one of the fastest vessels that was ever built. The man who should be king of the English now, the son of King Henry, was on board when she sailed off. And with the prince there were 140 knights and many nobles, all on their way from Normandy to England. They say the ship hit the rocks, and then a fire broke out. Even before the White Ship had departed, the prince and his men had begun to drink and get violent. Monks that were meant to bless the voyage were then forced to disembark. Some say the ship had been cursed. The king's son and many of his family were pulled down into the Black Sea that night.
Интересная история. 1142 уже. Прошел год.
You're forgetting one important detail. Not only these monks, but also Stephen of Blois, the king's nephew, left the ship before it embarked. They say he got ill.
That old rumor.
The same Stephen who calls himself the king of the English now.
What? That cannot be a coincidence.
Yes, it can be. Of course he's king now. He survived. He is the king's nephew.
What do you think, my lord?
I think Stephen is a clever man. Clever enough to have his whole family perish. But why he would want to rule that god-forsaken rock, I will never understand.
What makes you say that? I love my country.
Then why are you leaving?
Well, because I want to see something new.
I'll tell you what you're going to see. A proper country, where people know how to behave.
Какую же страну? Куда они плывут?
What about you? Why are you leaving?
Так, мне было незачем оставаться. Я разыскиваю одного человека.
I'm looking for someone.
For who?
Отца ребенка.
I guess I should stay out of other people's business. Forgive me.
You English do talk a lot, don't you?
I just don't know how to feel about leaving my country for the first time. I mean, how should anyone feel?
Надежда, да.
Hopeful?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just running away.
You should all get some rest. It will not be long now till we reach Cherbourg.
Thank the Lord. I can't wait to be back.
Реально, у меня создается ощущение, как будто сериал какой-то смотрю. Наподобие «Игры престолов» и «Вилли Викингов». Не просто смотрю, я еще играю в него. Очень качественно.
In the late
Нормандия.
summer of 1142, I had left my home country, England, for good. My old life lay in shambles, as did my former home of Kingsbridge. Having failed both my friends and family, I had set out to find my baby's father, the man I still loved with all my heart, Jack Jackson. And so early one morning in July, I finally arrived on the shores of Normandy. With nothing on me but a pouch of coin and a young, curious face yet unnamed, who was just as unfamiliar to this new world as was I.
Вот она, конечно, отважная. Белый корабль. Давайте изучим. Крушение белого корабля, 1120. Один из самых быстрых кораблей того времени. Хотя, в принципе, нам эту историю рассказали. Зачем это читать, да? В самом начале. Ну ладно, давайте прочитаю. Просто так, для истории. Один из самых быстрых кораблей того времени. Его капитана был сын капитана Моры, того корабля, на котором Вильгельм, завоеватель, вторгся в Англию в 1066. Как его отец до него, он с радостью предложил свой корабль Генриху, возвращающемуся из нормандского порта Барфлер, тому самому Генриху, что должен был стать королем Англии. Но как и все несчастные, кто поднялся на борт того корабля, Генрих не пережил путешествия. Во тьме ночи корабль напоролся на камни, и на борту начался пожар. Корабль погрузился в морскую пучину вместе с большей частью королевской семьи. Стефан Блуаский также должен был быть на борту, но, как говорят, внезапное недомогание побудило его вместе с несколькими монахами сойти с корабля перед отплытием. Да. Шербур. Я слышал, что за этот замок было много сражений. Корабль туда не пристал бы. Корабль. Утром я сел на первый же корабль. Я хотел уплыть как можно быстрее. Так. Каменщик. Я узнаю эти инструменты. Он каменщик вроде Джека. Пойдем поговорим.
You're still here?
Oh, it's you. I'm just trying to get my feet used to good solid ground again. The last bit of our voyage wasn't exactly my pint of ale.
Такс. Ты каменщик, да?
That hammer you're carrying, do you happen to be a mason?
Actually, I am. You have a keen eye, mistress.
I guess I just know a mason when I see one.
To be honest, I haven't been one long. Just finished my apprenticeship in Salisbury. Before that, I used to shear sheep with my parents, but I guess that wasn't really for me. Father still hates me for leaving, though.
Такс. Ага, где каменщик может найти работу в этих краях?
What will you do to find work here as a mason?
Don't know. That's for me to find out. All I heard was that the wages are better over here.
So you'll just travel from town to town and look for employment?
Right. And I was starting to say, a fellow mason told me about the abbey there. He said these Normans build their churches quite differently than we do back home. I need to see that with my own eyes. Maybe learn a thing or two.
Так, может Джек отправился в аббатство в Лессе? Так, я ищу одного человека.
I'm looking for someone. A red-haired mason called Jack Jackson. He came to France about a year ago or so.
A fellow mason, great. Unfortunately, I wouldn't know a thing. After all, I just arrived here with you.
Вдруг что
I
узнаешь?
know, but should you meet someone like that on your journey, tell him Aliena of Shirring is looking for him.
All right. Jack Jackson. I'll keep an eye out for you.
Thank you.
Такс. Тоже оставила прежнюю жизнь.
I left my old life as well.
Scary, isn't it? To start off fresh and all that.
Well, you definitely sound more excited than scared.
Oh, I am excited. Wouldn't anyone be?
I don't know. Maybe.
Много ли каменщиков?
Do many masons go to Lessay?
I don't know. It's really just a tiny town. The mason who told me just happened to do some repairs there once. It's likely he told others as well.
Ладно, пойдем на поиски.
Have a safe journey.
Oh, thank you. You too.
Такс. Прилавок. Они договариваются о цене за право проезда. За право торговать с англичанами приходится платить. Нет, Джек. На мгновение я подумала, но нет, это не он. Она к нему прям пошла.
Good day. I am looking for someone. A traveler who came through here last summer. Oh, hush now. I need to talk to this man.
Looks young.
He was born at the beginning of summer.
What's his name?
I haven't given him one yet.
You should. He needs to know who he is. Makes growing up a lot easier.
Как же назовешь его? Тоже Джеком?
You said you're looking for someone.
Такс. Я разыскиваю отца этого малыша.
I'm looking for the boy's father.
From the look of your baby, I reckon his father has red hair like me, right? Well, I don't know every redhead around these parts. There are quite a few of us. Most of my family here in Cherbourg is ginger.
Oh, his name is Jack Jackson, and he is a mason.
No. No, sorry. I haven't seen him. And I come here every day. Maybe a maid saw him. She helps the sailors get their cargo to the nearby towns. Carries travelers, too.
I'll ask her. Well, thank you.
Где мне ее найти только? Так, найду ли я когда-нибудь Джека? Любовные элеги с собой взяла. Возница. Кажется, это ее телега. Должно быть, она знает все дороги во Франции. Ну, пойдем. Возможно, это и есть то самое.
Hey, you. That's quite a bundle you got there. Where are you headed?
Такс. Давай.
Have you seen a red-haired mason? You must have landed here sometime late last summer.
Another ginger in Normandy? I wouldn't have noticed, even if he was carrying a hammer instead of a fishing rod. Maybe you should ask someone in Barfleur. That's where all the travellers come through, the pilgrims and kings. Their lot rarely lands in Cherbourg, with the fortress passing back and forth between Stephen of Blois and Geoffrey of Anjou. Why you even came to Cherbourg in the first place baffles me.
It was the earliest ship I could get.
You must be in some hurry, madam.
Let's just say I needed to get away before I changed my mind.
Fine with me. Who am I to judge?
Так. Барфлеры теперь. Как добраться до Лессе?
Do you know the road to Lessay?
Been there, seen it. But I hope you're not planning to go there on foot. Tell you what, you give me some coins and I'll treat you to me wagon. You can even change your destination once we're on the road. What'd you say?
Какие еще есть пути? Ну-ка.
What other routes are there besides going through Barfleur?
Привет, Степан Спартакович.
Oh, I don't know, really. You need to ask the locals about that. But Barfleur sounds like a good place to start. Shake my hand and I'll take you there.
Я даже не знаю, что отправимся или... Ладно, поехали.
All right. Take me out of town.
All right. Where do you need to be?
Куда? В Лессе? Куда? А, или еще сам буду выбирать. Лессен. Пойдем сперва в Барфлер. А у нас хватит денег? Главный порт. Аббатство. Не, погнали в главный порт.
We went to Barfleur, a scenic port town built on granite. It was the biggest harbour in Normandy and the main entry point for the Normans to their new possession of the Isle of England. I talked to some of the sailors and fishermen, but no one had remembered seeing Jack. How could they? Almost a year had passed since he, a simple mason, had journeyed through the busy town, a town with no memory other than that of the last king who passed through on yet another one of his violent conquests. Maybe I was approaching this the wrong way. What had drawn him to France in the first place? The distance to Kingsbridge? Or something specific? What was my lead?
Да. Интересно, куда? Погнали в Лессе.
Lessay was tiny, but as it turned out, worth the trip. In the small abbey church of the Trinity, I met a monk who claimed to have talked to a man fitting Jack's description. He'd been fascinated by the abbey's rib vaulting and had asked the monks countless questions about the place's construction. The monk apologized that he couldn't tell me where Jack had traveled next, but I didn't mind.
Ну да, думаю, мы напали на его след.
I lay down to sleep on the floor of the Abbey guest house, and for the first time in almost a year, I felt relief. As I drifted into sleep, I hugged our baby tight and whispered into his tiny pink ear, "We're going to find your daddy."
Так. Харплер теперь не нужно. Мон-Сен-Мишель, Лиман. Ну, по порядку пойдем.
My father had once told me tales of the Mont Saint-Michel. Long ago, the Archangel Michael had urged Hubert of Avranches to build an abbey on a lonely rock on the ocean by burning a hole into his head. They say one can go and see his penetrated skull on display in the church of his hometown. It was a windy day when I arrived, and the place was crowded with pilgrims and jongleurs. I remembered Jack's fascination with these tellers of stories. I spoke to one who was just taking a break. As it happened, he had indeed met Jack, although not in Mont Saint-Michel, but on a road heading east from there.
О, вот это повезло.
Apparently, Jack had been hopelessly tracking jongleurs who might have known his father, Jack Cherbourg. But as he'd been gradually running out of money, he'd intended to look for work in Le Mans or Tours. That was about 6 months ago. I was catching up.
Так, по порядку пойдем. Лиман.
Going to Le Mans reminded me of all the trouble I'd left behind in England. 30 years ago, Le Mans had been conquered by the Plantagenet Geoffrey of Anjou, Maud's husband. And although they'd held it ever since, other noble families kept on pulling at the city, like Maud and Stephen tearing at England. There was no sign of Jack, but I got news of a new kind of cathedral being built in Saint-Denis, just north of Paris. It was possible that Jack had gone there to learn from the craftsmen. That was, if he hadn't travelled further south, looking for work in one of the many churches in Tours, the hometown of Saint-Martin.
Теперь у нас разветвление. Давай в тур пойдем. Два месяца пути, у нее все деньги еще не кончились, да? Ей ж не заработать никак. Чертеж церкви напоминает то, что строил Том у нас в Кингсбридже. Все это теперь так далеко. Так, стройплощадка, прямо как в Кингсбридже, хотя церковная архитектура совсем другая, как будто из другого мира. Важный господин, уверенный в себе человек, но не сдержанный на слова. Пойдем с ним поговорим.
Good day. Are you the master builder?
What is it?
I'm looking for a mason who may have passed through here. An Englishman with carroty hair. He calls himself Jack Jackson.
A redhead?
Yes. Did you see him? He might have asked for work here.
No, I'm not looking for new masons. We're just doing repairs.
Ah, but was he here?
No, never seen him. Now, stand back, woman. Something could fall on your baby's head.
Так. Да, мне скажут, что он сюда направился.
I was told he wanted to come here.
Well, maybe he changed his mind.
Может быть.
Are you sure you haven't seen him?
I am.
Так.
May I talk to your workers?
No, they're busy. And I can assure you they have nothing to say on that matter.
Perhaps I'll talk to them once they've finished for the day.
It would be a waste of time.
Что-то он не хочет рассказывать, чуть темнит.
You hesitated when I mentioned a redhead. Are you sure you haven't seen him?
Yes, I am sure. All right, he was here.
Ах ты такой.
Was working for me, but I had to throw him out after 2 or 3 days.
Why?
Because he was all want. Let me redesign the roof, let me make the nave lighter. All pretty ideas, but he never shut up long enough to do the work he was supposed to do. Shit, that man was almost as needy as my son when he was still a brat.
He does know a lot about his craft.
Well, I know masons like him. They grow up gifted, but without a mote of discipline in their guts. Can't work with someone like that.
Do you know where he went next?
No idea. Maybe to Limoges or Angoulême. Maybe even to La Rochelle. Seemed to have plans for every cathedral on God's green earth, but none for himself.
I understand. I'll leave you to it then.
Bon voyage.
Bon voyage. Все. Едем дальше. В сторону Парижа, я так понимаю. Нет. Вот дела, если бы я туда направился. Ох, куда же. Крупный свободный портовый город. Еще один строящийся собор. Процветающий центр ремесел. Мне кажется, собор он поехал.
We had just left Tours when I suddenly felt dizzy. I stopped and made rest, trying to catch my breath, then lost my breakfast in a ditch at the side of the road.
Это плохо.
To my horror, our baby too had grown pale, his breath shallow like that of an old man. I tried not to panic, but the next inn was a long distance away and we couldn't stay on the road where it was wet and cold.
Что же делать? Вернуться обратно и отдохнуть. Нет, давайте лучше обратно вернемся.
Back in Tours, the fever got worse. I remember people carrying me into a room, laying me on a bed. I tried to feed my baby, but after that, everything turned into a blur. When I awoke, he scolded me for following him. You know you could go anywhere you want, he whispered. Why be stupid and follow me?
Так, это и брюки, наверное.
I tried to answer, but he just opened the window and jumped out, heading toward ancient Greece, or maybe all the way to Arabia. And in my feverish mind, I followed him.
Надеюсь, все будет в порядке с ней. Ага. Чертоги разума. Родина философии, колыбель цивилизации. Мы погнали в Грецию.
The further I went, the angrier I got. For years, I'd been fighting for my family. I'd committed myself to an oath to my father. I'd built up a business to sustain it and even married a man I despised so I could create a future for the people around me. I'd known nothing but my duty to the men in my life, while the man I was trying to find lived a life of casual irresponsibility. He traveled the world on a whim to learn about mathematics and philosophy, while I had to raise the child he'd fathered. When could I ever do anything just for myself? I asked the world as I went on.
Действительный вопрос. Кингсбридж?
I'd travelled in a circle all the way to the edge of the world and back, only to return to the place of our failure. With my eyes closed, I listened to the sound of ripping yarn and crumbling walls, and of coaches carrying good people away into a cloud of crimson dust. When the last moat had settled, I opened my eyes again and found myself in a dirty little room. An old maid was sitting next to my bed and smiled at me, then handed me my baby.
Все в порядке?
Oh, dear God. He still looked so pale.
Покормить, конечно.
I tried to feed him, but he refused.
Ё-моё.
Oh, please, God, let him live. Don't punish him for my own sins. I gently caressed his head until finally he put his mouth to my breast and drank more and more, becoming greedier with every swallow. We had both been spared. We rested one more day. Then I gathered my things and headed back to the cathedral to thank the Lord for his mercy.
Ух, пронесло. Так, надо возблагодарить Господа за то, что Он сохранил жизнь нашему ребенку. Стрельчатая арка. Мне казалось, что они обычно круглые. Никогда не видел ничего подобного. Так, и как ты хочешь возблагодарить? Помолитесь, местоположение Тур, Центральная Франция. А, вот, статуя Девы Марии. Привет, Зет. Еще один стрим после этого.
Thank you for having spared my child. I thank you for...
Don't let go until it's done.
But why are you showing mercy on me? I failed everyone I cared about. I failed Jack. I failed my brother. And if I never return, I would also break the oath I had given Father. It's just that I feel like I've never had a life of my own. I've always fought for others. And this may be the very first time that I fight for something that I only want for myself. Maybe I should just go back and help rebuild Kingsbridge. Maybe Jack doesn't even care for me anymore.
Да не, точно не разлюбит.
Amen.
Так, что-то... Да, меня тоже этот медальон. Я обратил на него внимание. Это работа Джека.
I've seen one of those before.
It's amazing, isn't it? The man who did that really had it in him.
I agree. He always did.
Oh, you knew Master Jacques?
Yes, but it's been a while since I last saw him.
It's a shame that the Master let him go. In just 1 month, he did so many things.
The Master Builder said he'd fired him after just 3 days.
Did he? Well, maybe that's how he remembers it. The two didn't really see eye to eye, you know? To tell you the truth, everyone thinks that he feared for his own job, having someone like that around. The last thing Jack did was carve that corbel. It was the one thing the Master let him do. Then when he was done, he was asked to leave.
Your master said he had no discipline.
Let me tell you something. Jacques worked very hard on it. He was impatient and had a temper, but you could see that he tried to overcome it. Conquering that rock was very important to him.
Oh, I understand that so well. Do you happen to know where he went next?
He wanted to walk the pilgrim trail to Santiago de Compostela.
The Camino? The Way of St. James?
He said he might find someone there who knew his father.
Just one more thing. How was he when he left?
Never thought about that. Relieved, I guess. He seemed ready for something new.
Thank you so much for your help.
Think nothing of it. And good luck on your travels. May you find what you are looking for.
Где-то далеко.
Isn't it odd? Just when you stop looking, you come across the most curious of things. Like these 3 devices that one of my merchants brought back from Baghdad.
Rashid Basim.
Oh no. Is it another one of your Banu Musa toys, Rashid?
They're not toys, Adriel. They're objects of scholarly ingenuity and reflection.
I will let my valued friend from the north do the honors. Jack, if you may.
Ну давай, Джек, расскажем. Что это за статуя? Статуя Богородицы. Простое дерево с каменными глазами. Никаких механизмов или хитроумных устройств. Никто не знает, как она работает. Устройство ослик. Одна из новых игрушек Рашида. Она из далекой восточной страны. Ее приводит в действие простая вода. Устройство с певчей птицей. Еще одно новое устройство. Это работает на пару. Вот это сила мысли. Миска с водой. Вода, чтобы освежить горло в дождливый день. Такую тяжесть не выйдет таскать с собой. Вода. И еще что-нибудь интересное. Пойдем, поговорим.
On second thought, why don't you save the lady for last? Otherwise, the other two devices might appear bland and boring in comparison.
I agree.
Ну давай начнем с ослика. Эй, я что-то на ослик нажимаю. Да уж. Пусто? Зачем? Понятно. Такс.
And now, Jack will heat the water in the tank.
Бери свечу.
What is he doing now?
Not much, I suppose.
Жить не должен знать, что я пошел в собор. Ставим ее, наверное, сюда. И ждем.
It's so beautiful it will make you cry. Just listen.
Бану Муса, ну-ка. Так, Бану Муса. Братья, известны под общим именем Бану Муса, или Бану Муса, не знаю, как правильно, сыновья Мусы. Трое ученых персидского происхождения, живущие в Багдаде в IX веке. Их самый известный труд – книга изобретений, большой иллюстрированный сборник, посвященный механическим приспособлениям и машинам. В основном эти механизмы создавались с развлекательной целью, но в них использовались новаторские для своего времени инженерные технологии. Братья писали также книги по астрономии, астрологии и геометрии. Их исследования в области геометрии оказали влияние как на исламских, так и на европейских математиков.
How marvelous! How does it work?
Maybe it's a miracle.
Чудо.
Right.
Go on, Jack. Tell them.
Давай объясни.
There's a hidden wheel inside the box. It turns an axle that in return raises and drops a sequence of small cylinders inside. These cylinders work like fingers playing a flute.
But who is blowing into the flute?
Steam.
Steam?
Yes. When I opened the pipe, it gradually pushed itself into the tube.
The power of steam. For once, I must agree, this is brilliant.
Of course! It was created by a Muslim after all.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. What else have you got, Rashid?
Anyone care for some tea?
Thank you, my daughter. We will have some as soon as Jack has finished our presentation.
Mind if I watch?
Of course not.
Так, сейчас продемонстрируем
Who
следующее.
is this man, Rashid?
Задам мне на стриме вчера говорили. Слышал. Теперь ослика давай. Куда ты все ходишь? Одна из новых игрушек. Так. Тоже, наверное, возьмем воду. Только во что мы ее наполним?
What is that?
A Greek who wrote a book called The Elements of Geometry. The Egyptians translated it into Arabic, and now the Englishmen are turning it into Latin.
I could watch this man scoop up water all day. How very peculiar.
Окей.
Did you see? It threw up.
Что ж с него?
Rashid, this is disgusting.
Oh, far from it. Would you kindly explain how it works, Jack?
Давайте объясним.
You see that bowl floating on top of the water? At the bottom of that bowl is a small hole. Through it, the bowl is slowly filled with liquid. Once it's full, it sinks, pulling a string which makes the ball drop onto a weight. This, in return, pulls the bowl up again, emptying it in the process.
Thus resetting the entire mechanism.
If you timed it perfectly, you could make it drop a ball at every hour.
Turning it into a clock. How clever.
Да,
For
прикольно.
me, it's still nothing more than a puking
Бреющий
donkey.
осел.
Show us more, Rashid.
One could join those two and build a singing donkey clock. One song after every hour.
Да, неплохая идея.
That would be pretty clever.
I know, right? You could be the one to build it.
Oh, that would be unfair. It's your invention.
I would let you have it. Or we design it
Так,
together.
она подкатывает к нам. Нам нужно Лену ждать.
You still haven't shown us that statuette yet.
Of course. Jack, if you may.
Так, сейчас до статуи дойду. Что у нас в комментах? Z, нет, не хочу. Статуя Богородицы. Как он работает?
Oh, you will love this. Just watch.
Так, что мне с ней делать? Прохладное место? А, ну тут всю воду вычерпал. Где тут прохладное место? А, вот сюда, наверное. На столик.
And now?
Just be patient, but don't look away. It takes some time for her to...
To do what?
Мне самому
Is it
интересно.
crying? Isn't that amazing?
No, it's irritating. Rashid, what is going on?
Пускай будет тайны.
It's a mystery.
Rashid, please.
We all know that there is no such thing as a man-made miracle.
And this piece of wood is very clearly made by man.
I very much agree, my friends. But so far, none of us has an explanation.
All we know for certain is that her glassy eyes shed tears when you move her from warmth into cold.
Like a plant at sunrise. Like dew. The only difference is the surface. That's all.
Такс. Да, попросим продолжить, правда.
I think you may be onto something.
Am I? Of course, I had no intention of disturbing your conversation. But if you can find out why there's dew gathering on a plant, you may understand why that woman is so weepy. So, who wants a cup of tea?
I'll have some.
Your daughter is quite something, Rashid. A scholar in her own right.
I know. I'd rather she wasn't. It would make marrying her off so much easier.
Oh, I'm certain that won't stay a problem for long.
Maybe
Давайте,
the
пока.
dew originates from invisible water in the air. Water that stays hidden when it's hot.
Так, теперь обратно к Олене возвращаемся.
The pilgrim trails across France converged at Osterbat in the foothills of the Pyrenees. There, the group of 20 or so pilgrims who had been travelling alongside me since I'd left Tours swelled to about 70. Some were prosperous citizens, some probably on the run from justice, a few drunks, and several monks and clergymen. Several languages were spoken, including Flemish, a German tongue, and a southern French language called Oc. Nevertheless, there was no lack of communication among them, and as we crossed the Pyrenees, they sang, played games, told stories, and in several cases had love affairs. While my baby and I kept mostly to ourselves.
Ganz schön frech, die mit ihrem Kind.
Hush now.
Так. Да, песенку давай. Нужно помочь. Да, пойдем прогуляемся.
Richtig dreist.
Немецкие пилигримы. Я их не понимаю. Это что, немецкая речь? Тропинка к пути святого Якова.
Kann ein Mann nicht einfach mal seine Ruhe haben?
Переклики. Пойдем.
Der Weg aus Babenberg war doch anstrengend genug.
Помогите женщине. Слепая женщина. Вот бедняжка. Может, я сумею ей хоть что-нибудь помочь? Пойдем попробуем.
Dear Lord, what are you doing? You should get out of the water. It's freezing.
My ring! I lost my ring! Dear Lord, please show mercy.
Ох, ё-моё. Сейчас тоже полезем в воду и простынем. Как ей помочь? Река Арга. Большинство паломников останавливаются возле источника в городе. Но я подумал, что реки будут потише. И теперь весь шум здесь подняла одна я. Искать кольцов? Сустав, что ли? Пойдем здесь поищем. Она в воде обронила, наверное, поэтому там ищет.
Come back to me. Please come back to me.
А вот она.
Where are you? Where did you go?
Так, а зачем ты в сумку все положила? На, давай.
I found it.
Yes! Oh, thank you! Thank you so much! You are a very kind woman. So very, very kind.
I'm glad I could help.
Yes, yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Вот, доброе дело сделали. Отлично. Нам вернется по-любому. Давай, расскажи кольцо, правда. Почему оно тебе так дорого?
I can see this ring is very precious to you.
It was a gift from my stepmother. She thought I would stay forever, but I didn't.
Да, почему же ты покинула отчий дом?
Why did you leave?
Oh, I thought I didn't belong. She always said I was her daughter, but I was sure she was lying. I was so selfish and so stupid. Too stupid to see I really was happy.
Да.
Tell me about your stepmother.
She was such a kind woman. So very, very kind.
Maybe you really weren't happy.
I don't know. I was very young and thought I was unhappy because I didn't live close to the sea. But in the end, the sea did not feel the same about me. The cold there made me sick. It took away my sight.
Да, бывает.
Why didn't you go back?
She had been so angry when I left. So angry and disappointed. She would have never let me return.
Ah, that's why you went on the pilgrimage.
Yes, so that St. James might see my devotion, and I will be united with my mother in heaven. I'm just not as kind as you. Not kind at all.
You're too hard on yourself.
I don't know.
I, too, am trying to make amends with the one man I loved the most. I was told he went straight to Santiago.
You will know soon.
Not soon enough. It's still 4 weeks till I get there.
Долго, да.
He'll be there, I'm sure of it.
I hope so. I just feel that with every day that passes, I'm losing him a bit more. And that the only thing I can allow myself still to hope for is not love, but forgiveness.
I understand.
Hey, hush now. Not long now and our journey will be over,
Еще немного. Еще чуть-чуть. Путь Святого Якова. Так. Эль Камино де Сантьяго. Или Путь Святого Якова. Маршрут христианского паломничества в кафедральный собор города Сантьяго ди Компостела, где, по преданию, покоятся останки апостола Якова Старшего. Наряду с паломничествами в Иерусалим и Рим это одна из важнейших для христиан дорог. Только в таком пути паломник и мог освободиться от своих грехов. К XII веку такие паломничества стали организованными. Вдоль пути стала возникать инфраструктура, а также был составлен первый в истории путеводитель, так называемый кодекс Саликстинус, кодекс Каликста. Да уж, ну и словечки. Призванный поддержать будущих паломников и укрепить их в намерении совершать паломничество. Отличительным знаком пути Святого Якова, как и символом самого апостола Якова, является ракушка. Понятно.
The woman's name was Alba. She came from a small town somewhere in Catalonia. I quickly got used to her constantly feeling out for her stepmother's ring and the sad guilt that would always follow in her milky eyes. I wasn't sure if she appreciated my company, but I couldn't leave her on her own either. By the time we reached Los Arcos, she'd stopped talking, while I kept on dropping a kind word here and there to let her know I was still by her side. Alba believed herself to be of weak mind and body, and yet she walked the Camino with a strong sense of purpose that willed her onward. It made me wonder about what I'd told her about my own journey. Did I hope for love, or was I really traveling because I needed him to forgive me? But what was there to forgive? My decision to marry Alfred had been in the best interest of the people of Shirring. It was a sacrifice I had to make to stop the evil reign of William Hamley. These questions had haunted me for a long time now. But if I really was going to see Jack soon, it was time to make up my mind. Around Lyon, the path began to gradually turn uphill. It was only 2 more weeks till we'd reached Santiago. The baby was in a good mood, and so, surprisingly, was Alba. After Astorga, the trail got more difficult. Alba became slower and slower, and we had to rest more. She became quiet again. The strain on her old body grew, and she worried that she might not be able to reach the end. Still, we managed to push onward.
Она нас замедляет, Альба. Это плохо. Куда деваться?
The next morning, she refused to get up. Her breathing was disturbingly shallow, and she hardly noticed me touching her forehead. Everything hurts, she said, and urged me to continue without her.
Идти без нее. Я так и знал, что сейчас будет этот выбор. Остаться с ней. Ох, ну давайте останемся, как так уходить-то.
Of course, I stayed with her. I brought her food and water and sat by her side. But day after day, her condition grew worse. She kept on urging me to go, to find Jack, saying the monks of Ponferrada would take care of her.
Если позаботиться, так надо идти тогда. Все, погнали тогда.
I was about to leave when a monk stopped me. He urged me to stay at least for another day.
Моего решения ничего не зависит.
Feeling that he was right, I remained. I'd hardly known her, and most of the time she'd tried to push me away, as if she considered herself a nuisance that slowed me down and who didn't deserve company. It wasn't until a few moments before she died that, for the first time, she smiled at me, and I like to believe that she saw me smile back. I still like to believe that here, in this unlikely place, dying next to a near stranger, she'd found a moment of serenity and happiness, but she'd not reached Santiago. When I left, that thought still haunted me, to see that a journey could come to an end so suddenly. But what would be different if she had reached Santiago? Could she have been disappointed by what she found?
Все, добрались мы наконец-то. Теперь осталось найти Джека.
After months of hard travel, the child and I finally reached Santiago de Compostela. In the evening, we attended Mass in the great cathedral, then started to roam the town looking for my dear Jack. It was almost dawn when finally a priest pointed me to an inn close by.
Так, это у нас трактир. Еще один трактир для паломников. Мне сказали, что здесь останавливался Джек. Но куда он отправился потом? Хозяин постояла у двора. Должно быть, она за день видит немало людей, идущих мимо. Я все ближе к нему. Отдыхающий паломник. Ночной воздух прохладен. Скоро встанет солнце. Еще что-нибудь есть? Да, поговорим с хозяйкой.
Buenos dias. Do you understand me?
Sinto ben, pero non temos camas disponibles.
No, I don't need a room. I was told a friend of mine stayed here some time ago. A red-haired Englishman called Jack. Do you remember him?
Eu só che falo en galego, miña rula.
Français? English?
Плохо. Паломник отдыхает. Пойдем в трактир. Ну или дальше собор. Еще один собор. Джек мог побывать здесь. Соборы никогда ему не надоедают. Что-то там работа. Так, здесь что-то кувшины. Кто-то оставил их здесь. А может, просто позабыл? Еще одна группа пьяных паломников. Костер. В костре потрескивает огонь. Здесь тепло и уютно. Так, нужно что-то сделать. Либо еще раз с ней поговорить. Давай еще раз поговорим. Так. Ладно, просто поговорим.
Have you seen a man called Jack Jackson? Jack? He's a mason.
Jack?
Yes, have you seen him?
Pásanche por aquí centos de peregrinos, e cada un eche de seu pai. Vas ter que ser algo máis específica.
I don't understand.
Ё-моё, что делать? Ты в трактир-то не хочешь зайти? Женщина. Может, сюда пройти? Нужно что-то сделать. Так, не забывай про мою кнопочку, о которой уже было время забыл. Где кувшин возьми? Серьезно? Может, к собору можно пойти? Нет, к собору он идти не хочет. Что же собралась делать, интересно, с этими?
I'm looking for a man who likes to read a lot.
El logo anda sempre cun libro en riba.
Have you seen anyone like that?
Pero, por que levas un libro en riba? Basta escangallar co peso.
She doesn't even understand that I'm looking for a person yet.
Так, давай.
She doesn't even understand that I'm looking for a person yet.
Давай сынишку покажем.
Oh, que cousiña. Eche rubio.
Sí, redhead.
Так. Да, сперва
Can you give us some food? Comida.
Se queres xantar, terás que pagar. Síntocho, pero non es a única muller cun fillo que ven por aquí pedindo comida.
Чё сказала? Не видели отца?
Have you seen his father, Padre del Niño? Jack Jackson?
Ven sendo un peregrino?
What?
É un peregrino?
Oh, no. He's not a pilgrim.
Entón, quen ven sendo?
Каменщик.
He's a mason.
Ai, mal rayo, me partas entendo o que me estás a contar.
Так, нет ли у вас переводчика, кстати?
Is there someone inside who might be able to translate for us?
Nena, que temer que quen te entenda.
A translator? A guest?
Agora mesmo estanche todos a dormir. Case che diría que volvas mañá pola mañá.
Поля, маня. Он просто путешественник.
He's just a simple traveler like anyone else. I bet that doesn't help much.
Согласен. Он бард.
He's a jongleur, a storyteller.
Ai, na miña hospedaría non vai quedar jonglar algún. Xa temos jonglares dabondo por aquí. Téñenme ata o curuto.
You don't seem to like jongleurs, do you?
Будем думать.
Let me show you something.
Что именно ты хочешь показать? Так, ничего нового не появилось. Проснулся? Пойдем поговорим.
Oh, can you help us translate?
O inglés non cho falo, desculpa.
Да, не может.
I should try to keep him calm. I was told he used to stay here.
Dis que o rubio está aquí? Ah, xa sei a quen andas a buscar. Xurxo!
Que foi?
O raparigo este eche fillo teu.
Pois, non che sei. Case que non,
No, he's not the man I'm looking for.
Semella que desta aínda zafas.
Или нет, не он? Что бы делать, что поделать? Указать на собор.
He's a mason. He builds things like that.
Ah, eche masón. Albanel.
Sí, a mason. It's the same word in Galician.
Por aquí pasan unha morea de masóns. Non me poderías dicir algo máis sobre él?
Oí falar dun masón que diz que se dedica a traducir libros en Toledo.
Polo visto, di que se chama Jack.
Yes, Jack. Have you seen him?
Non sei cal será o seu apelido, pero ben é certo que non chai moitos masóns rubios aos que lles guste ler. Se tan desesperada está, por que non vai a Toledo a comprobalo por si mesma?
Entón, marchou para Toledo.
Что говорят? Он отправится в Толедо?
He went to Toledo?
A Toledo marchou, sí.
Di que o teu Jack podería estar en Toledo.
All right, so I will go to Toledo then.
Ё-моё.
Gracias. I just pray that I understood you correctly.
Да. Остается только надеяться. Одна с ребенком. Столько месяцев пути, жесть. В те-то времена. Вот это женщина, да? Еще месяц. Толедо.
Buenos dias. Parlez-vous français? English?
Of course. How may I help you?
I was told a man named Jack Jackson lives in this house.
Who told you this?
A group of scholars living at the edge of town. They said he used to translate old scriptures about mathematics before he moved here.
Please wait here. I will talk with Master
Ох,
Rashid.
нашли, точно, Рашид. Все, надо их вместе сводить теперь. Дом. Такой большой и светлый. Таких домов у нас не строят. Что же слуга так долго копается? Фонтан. Какой удивительный фонтан. Он похож на настоящий источник. Так, еще что-нибудь. Вход. Еще одна стрельчатая арка. Немало я их повидал с тех пор, как покинула Англию. Пожалуйста, господи, пусть Джек окажется здесь. Колонны. Они напоминают мне клуатор в Кингсбридже. Только это укрытие от хорошей, а не от плохой погоды. Так, тут все. Может, пройдемся? Пить хочешь? Давайте дальше пройдем. О! Ящерка. Что стоит на солнце с ребятенком? Давай заглянем внутрь. О, то самое место. Ну, войдем уж, раз вошла. Устройство ослик. Великолепная работа. Выглядит так, будто вот-вот оживет. Праща. Это его праща. Мы, в принципе, знаем, что это такое.
It's his.
Здесь, да. О, свод. Свод. Весь покрыт резьбой. В жизни не видел ничего подобного. Джеку вот здесь очень понравилось. Так, вот здесь у нас что, небольшой стол с красивой резьбой. Куст. Все, погнали наружу. О, молодая женщина, пойдем поговорим. Садовник появился.
Oh, there you are. May I ask who let you stroll around our house?
Конечно. Да, это кое-кого разыскивают.
I traveled hundreds of miles looking for a man called Jack Jackson. A scholar told me that I would find him here.
Yes, my servant told me already. My father's not here at the moment, so you'll have to make do with me. Unfortunately, I must disappoint you. There's no one called Jack living in this house.
Ага, я нашла его пращу.
He must be here. I found his slingshot.
What? Who allowed you inside my father's archive?
Please, let me talk to him.
I'm sorry, but this is not easy for any of us. I think you should know that Jack and I are promised to each other. Maybe we should go inside. The sun's burning, and my mother doesn't need to hear us.
Нет, Джек, ты должен будешь сделать выбор в пользу Алиены.
Jack told me about you. You are Aliena. You're the one who rejected him and married his stepbrother. And now you want him back.
I'm here because I love him.
He always said that he had come here to find out about his family. But instead, he found out about everything else. About philosophy, mathematics. When he and my father met, it was love at first sight. They studied together and made great plans. But in the end, Jack would always start talking about his cathedral again. This great church he would build one day. Rib vaults and pointed windows. He'd ramble on about it for hours and stare up at that ceiling. We three sat here for hours and talked. And then in the evenings, it would be just the two of us. So many strange ideas about the future. Some barely more than silly dreams. Others almost in arm's reach.
You're talking about him as if he were gone.
Well, he's not here anymore. My father had offered him work as a master builder here in Toledo. He would have been well off and free to spend his evenings under vaults like this, with me as his wife. But in the end, he refused. Tell me, did you really marry his stepbrother?
Да, это была ошибка.
It was a mistake. I know that now. I did it to fulfill a promise I'd made to my father. I thought I had no choice. I didn't want to hurt him. Believe me.
I do. You know, he left me because of you.
Вот это, да. Он пошел обратно, но это же вообще будет жесть.
After all you did to him, he couldn't let go. You can be glad that you ran into me and not my mother. She was enraged when he left.
Huh. He can have that effect on people.
But apart from that, we made our peace with him. Father even gave him one of his favorite pieces of his collection as a parting gift. A small wooden statue with stone eyes in exchange for his slingshot.
Would you mind telling me where he went?
He went to Paris.
Paris?
To work on the Cathedral of Saint-Denis. He said he never found out about his father, so there was no reason to stay down here anymore.
Paris?
Yes. If you find him there, tell him I don't miss him.
Обязательно передам. Все, держим путь в Париж.
And all the best to your family.
Thank you. What is the child's name, by the way?
Well, he has none yet. I wouldn't name him without Jack.
Isn't that a bit silly?
Maybe. But he's his son as well as mine. It's his right to have a say in it too.
Then off to Paris. That baby needs a name.
He will get one. Thank you.
Ух. Я уж боялся, что он на брата пошел. Тем же путем идет прям крюк. Нельзя было сразу напрямки в Париж.
I travelled back along the way of St. James, passing through Astorga, Lyon and Burgos, I crossed the Pyrenees, revisiting Bordeaux, Angoulême, Poitiers, but never stayed longer than one night. The closer I came to Paris, the stronger my old doubts and fears resurfaced. If Jack really was there, what was I to say to him? I'd pull him very, very close, wishing for all the wounds to heal as quickly as they could.
Джека. Так, смотрим, куда мы можем. Ворота собора. Никуда я не пойду. Только не сейчас. Нельзя пускать шанс увидеться с ним. Пойдем поговорим с каменщиками. Каменщики. Нет, это не он. Рабочие. Его здесь нет. Может быть, его и вовсе здесь нет. Стройплощадка. Весь собор сплошная стройплощадка. Неужели он и правда здесь? Захочет ли он меня видеть? Конечно, захочет, что-то глупые вопросы. Надо фрески вот эти глядеть. Вот, вот сюда нам надо. Или куда? Поговорить-то ни с кем нельзя. Камни. Наверное, Джек нас ненавидит. Том не допускал его к основным работам в соборе, а я его бросила. Такс. Что-то нужно сделать, я так думаю. Давай, вперед. Вот же он, по-любому. Работает над... Как эта штука называется? Ты типа ничего не видишь, да, женщина? О, разноцветный свет из окон. Красиво, потрясающе. Это же он, по-любому. Так, куда теперь? Привет, Влад, спасибо. Реально, это же он работает. Как эта штука называется, я уже забыл. Что же делать? Может, сюда пройти можно еще? Что-то нужно найти, я так думаю. Такс.
I doubt anyone wants this book around here. Jack must be here somewhere.
Туда нельзя пройти? Да вот же он, ну ё-моё.
There. Are we awake then? You almost missed this.
Фух, очень нужно было сделать.
Look at these colorful windows. Look at the light.
Да вы чё, друг друга?
Ali.
We came to see you, Jack.
We? Is he?
He is your son.
Ох, есть. Я рад.
My son?
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. Ali, where do we go from here?
Wherever we go, I want to go with you.
Will you marry me? Both of you.
We will.
Фух, отлично. Хэппи-энд. Я люблю хэппи-энды.
We stayed in Paris as husband and wife. And our son, Tommy. The days went by quickly.
Честь Тома.
Jack had learned much working as a
Тома
builder in
строителя.
Saint-Denis. Days became months. Then after a year, we both grew restless. Where can we go from here? We asked ourselves again. We both confessed that we wanted to see our families, our friends. And then we knew where we wanted to go. Home. Even if it was in shambles.
Все, теперь им будет проще. Обратно возвращаться. Теперь у нее есть опора. Мужик.
We need to hurry. The ship to England will leave soon.
What's going on here?
Whatever it is, if the crowd doesn't clear up, we'll miss our ship.
Нужно проявить смекалку. Наша телега. Никто не обращает внимания. Может, их внимание привлечет лошадь? Или сделают еще хуже. Наш сундук. Подарок от Рашида. Ему было не просто расстаться с этой статуей, но он настоял, чтобы я забрал ее. Священник. Может, он сумеет помочь? От него пахнет пивом. Жонглер. Толпа вот-вот набросится на него. Он нервничает. Надо ему помочь. Разъяренная толпа. Настоящее столпотворение. Того и гляди, начнется драка. Через такую толпу не пробьешься. Так, с чем мы сможем взаимодействовать? Вот, это что? Тенистое местечко. Хорошо бы немного отдохнуть, посидеть в теньке на бережку, в уюте и прохладе. Да не, какой уют, домой надо возвращаться.
Could make the horse get their attention.
Or ride it through the crowd.
That sounds a bit dangerous, doesn't it?
You think?
Не варик, я думаю. Есть проще, конечно. Сундук, ага. Он взял ее, кстати. Вот, можно в столпе сказать и поставить ее на бережку. Да, точно. В тенек.
Do you know what's going on?
Oh, chaos. I can't get these people to calm down. God knows I tried.
What happened?
The jongleur told the crowd a few stories. Then he sold people some miracle charms, but it was just fairy tales and painted stones.
Вот.
It always is.
I know, but I'd need a real miracle to calm them down now. Otherwise, they'll rip him apart.
Сейчас мы этот вопрос решим. Пойдем с ним поговорим. Не хочешь? Пойдем с толпой поговорим.
Excuse me?
What's going on here?
He's a thief. He told us lies and stole our money.
But isn't that just a simple jongleur?
That poor man. We need to help him.
Давай поговорим. Ё-моё.
She doesn't do anything yet, but if I stood with her where it's colder...
Ладно, давай уж сразу. Тенистое местечко.
Do you see? It's working.
Your friend Rashid must be quite the miracle worker.
И теперь?
Mustn't fool around now. The tears will dry.
Давай на толпу.
Look! What's going on? The Holy Mother. She's crying.
С дороги.
Revere the Holy Mother, for she has blessed us with a sign from the heavens. Cease your doings right now and witness the miracle.
It's true! Lord in heaven! Why is she crying?
She weeps for your sins. What has this man done to you that you would treat him like a wild animal?
He tricked us and took our coin.
And you would kill him for your own foolishness. The Holy Virgin weeps, for you are not living by the word of God.
It is the Mother of God.
Forgive us, Holy Mother.
Where did she come from? For hundreds of years, she languished in the land of the Saracens. Dormant, she has been waiting for the one to bring her home.
Listen to what he has to say. The Holy Virgin has chosen this young family to protect her. Tell us all where you are headed.
Her destination is beyond these waters. In the small town of Kingsbridge, in the earldom of Shirring. There she wants to rest.
Kingsbridge? Where's that?
Hail Mary!
Make way for the Holy Virgin!
Hallelujah!
Make Robert well!
Huh?
Blessed Mary, let my daughter conceive!
Give us a good harvest!
They're donating to ask for her blessing.
Oh.
Полезная штука.
The weeping Madonna shall hear your prayer. And with your donations, I shall build her a new shrine at Kingsbridge, a cathedral.
Бабулька сейчас вообще все деньги, всю пенсию.
It's you.
Who do you mean?
You. The red-haired ghost.
Me? A ghost?
Чего, бабуля? Ты кто такой?
My husband is very much alive. I've known him since he was 12 years old.
But he drowned. By God, you drowned. 24 years ago. On the white ship. My poor son.
Ой, да ладно. Бабушка.
His name was Jacques.
Jacques Cherbourg.
Wow.
Jacques Cherbourg.
Это поворот. За игра не перестает меня удивлять, в самом-то деле. Такс. Все хорошо. Украли пращу Джека. У Рашида ничего страшного. Да, все нормально. Я рад. Первая глава, как обычно, очень длинная. Уже вернулись. Интересно, что же тут происходит? Филипп живой, все в порядке вроде.
So much has grown, but there are no roots, no herbs.
Джон там поди взрослый. Он подросток.
What are you looking at, Jonathan?
The garden is in disorder. I want it to be right again, but I don't know how to do it.
Before I became prior, I thought the same about Kingsbridge.
Well, what did you do?
I cleaned up.
Where do we start?
Да, сорняки сперва нужно выдернуть.
Some plants are weeds and must go before we can plant new seeds.
What are weeds?
They take away what the other plants need to grow. Light, water, room.
What do we do?
Pluck them. They look a lot like every other plant, so you need to learn how to tell them apart. Here, you see those? They're called wood sorrel. Let's pluck only those for now.
I'll do it.
If you insist. Make sure to pull out all of the thin roots.
And now what do I do?
Разоткли почву.
For plants to take root, the soil must be loose and fertile.
So, may I dig now? Done. What's next?
Посадим семечко, потом уже полюем.
Stay here. I'll be right back.
Все в запустении. Интересно, он тут один с Джонатаном? Или есть еще кто?
Now, where did you put them?
Сейчас найдем.
Ah, here they are. You always said you wanted to plant these seeds and make a new garden, Milius. I think it's about time.
Двухмилие.
What did you bring?
Do you remember Milius? A kind man with a warm smile. Well, he told me to give you this.
Wow!
Now we just have to wait.
All right.
То есть, подождите, полить вы не хотите? Ведь типа нужно было сначала полить. Прям сейчас сразу все вырастет.
How long?
Too long for us to keep sitting here.
That long.
Some things take time. And only with patience will you receive your reward.
Why do we have to do all these things if all we had to do is wait?
Simply waiting would not have been enough, Jonathan. You just paved the way for things to take their course. They are happening right now. And in a few days' time, we will return and see the first green leaf of something new.
Is it God's reward?
Maybe.
Does he make things grow?
You made it.
No, I just planted the seed.
Вода, полей.
Now you can fetch some water from the rain barrel.
But that water's smelly. It's been there forever. There are many trees by the river. I bet that water's better.
That's a longer walk, though.
I don't mind. The distance is worth it.
Maybe you're right. It is worth it. Let's walk together then.
But I'll carry the bucket.
Why isn't Remigius holding the sermon? What's gotten into Philip?
Our church lies in ruins. But all of this, these dire times, have revealed something important to us. Something that, maybe until today, I wasn't aware of.
What do you mean?
Что?
You've been praying in these ruins. But you've been praying like you always did, in humbleness. We don't need a church for prayer.
Where else are we going to pray? The chapter house?
The church is where God resides.
God doesn't work in the ways we might assume. Today, Jonathan tended to our garden to make it beautiful again. And he told me of things I almost had forgotten. Good and evil are not in here or out there. They are within each of us.
Человек-творец всё.
God made us in his image. Thus, we carry the godly spark within us. But we have witnessed that man can have the devil in his heart as well. Prayer needs no special place, for we are his church. In our actions, he exists.
We are God's temple.
No man is closer to God than any other man. Whether you pray in church or on the streets of our towns, whether you're a man, woman, monk, or bishop.
Philip, look outside. You have to see them. You've got to see the horses and the colors.
Jonathan.
Давай выслушаем.
Now, what's going on?
I heard noises and I went to look.
Calm down. What happened?
But the priest said they brought a miracle.
Who? What? What priest?
Step right up, brothers and sisters. For you are about to see something that will change your life.
Who is that?
They brought us a miracle.
A miracle?
Don't be shy. There is no danger, just awe that awaits you here. Ah, you must be Prior Philip. I am Brother Reynold. I have been sent by the Archbishop of Canterbury. Here is his letter, in case you have reasonable doubts.
Даже Джек с Аленой стоят, смотрите, видите, рыжая борода. И вон кукла там в шатре. Письмо архиепископа Кентерберийского. Письмо датировано 20 апреля 1141 года. Филипп из Кингсбриджа. Настоящим молю вас принять благодать плачущей Богоматери, поскольку она избрала Кингсбридж на роль своего обиталища. Когда слухи о чуде дошли до моих ушей, я призвал процессию к себе, и я увидел собственными глазами. Святыня и вправду существует. Я провозгласил это чудом Англии и намеревался вернуть святыню в Винчестер. Однако ваш Джек убедил меня поступить иначе. Я отправил одного священника из моего окружения Рейнольда сопровождать процессию и доставить вам это письмо. Примите мое благословление, Филипп из Кингсбриджа. Надеюсь, вы восстановите свой монастырь, чтобы он был достоин Святой Матери Божьей. Теобальд, архиепископ Кентерберийский.
We've been charged to accompany the weeping Madonna. She is to replace the loss of your relic, Saint Adolphus the Martyr, who was taken from you, I hear, with brute force.
What?
On her travel from far away Africa, she has collected donations to reward Kingsbridge for your faith in her and in the Lord.
I can't believe this. What is all this?
You do believe. That is why she came. And that is why you shall witness her miracle for yourself today. The weeping Madonna came to me in a faraway land named Africa. A baptized Saracen was her former guardian.
Please tell us more.
Of course. My words shall prepare you for the sight of the Holy Madonna. I knew not her powers or destination. Nevertheless, I carried her for many miles. Many bore witness to her miracle before it dawned upon me. She wanted to go home, but where? It came to me in a dream. It was Kingsbridge. But I wondered, what shrine should be her shelter? This time, it was the Madonna herself who answered my questions.
Please tell us more.
Of course. My words shall prepare you for the sight of the Holy Madonna. She said, "You shall build me a new church in Kingsbridge."
Excuse me. Don't interrupt.
And along the road, from Paris, across Normandy.
Hey!
Shh! The Weeping Madonna has chosen you! All of you! You heard me correctly. It was a long
Задняя сторона телеги.
The Weeping Madonna came to me, a baptized Saracen.
Ты хочешь занавеску двинуть?
And I and the custodians of the Holy Virgin were
That's not fit for a shrine.
On a journey.
And I think there's someone snoring in there. Strange. Nothing sacred about this.
Да, согласен. Такие задние части повозки. Давайте отойдем. Монахи-чужеземцы.
Tell me the truth. Why are you here?
We are guardians of the Holy Virgin that sheds tears. We were appointed by the Archbishop of Canterbury, but it was the Holy Virgin herself who chose us while she traveled through Europe.
Oh yes. How did that happen?
She speaks without words.
So we set off.
Дверь кухни. Зачем мне на кухню идти? Зрители, ну-ка.
My dear people.
Oh, I'm so excited to see a true miracle.
Did you hear that? The Madonna has chosen us.
She's come all the way from Africa.
Now, brothers and sisters, I have
Пойдем с Мартой поговорим.
That life has not been kind.
What do you think of this procession?
They seem well intended, and we could use the money.
But it is in places like these, and in dark times.
Please,
like
everyone.
That God's light.
We want to listen to his story.
Так, что ж, ремиги, ну-ка.
And along the road, from Paris, across Normandy.
Brother Reynold. I've heard of a Reynold from the coast. A scheming drunkard who lives as a traveling monk.
You think that's him?
Perhaps it is, perhaps it's not. I don't trust him either way.
Over the sea and all the way to Kingsbridge.
Зачем нам идти в собор?
Devout Christians have given money for the building of the church of the Weeping Madonna.
Ну все, уже пойдем. Усомнимся в его словах.
This church of Kingsbridge.
What country did you say you came from?
We have traveled all the way from a place of wonders too marvelous to behold. The faraway land of Africa.
Africa has many countries, I've heard.
Yes, it does. You heard me correctly. It was a long journey.
What's it like in Africa?
The sun is always shining, and miracles happen every day. It's a land of great deserts, fig trees, and creatures that an Englishman can't even dream up.
Like these horses. Are they horses?
They are not. To you, they might resemble horses, but the name the Africans have for these creatures is impossible to pronounce, even for me. You must be thinking, how can he be so sure?
You mentioned there were fig trees in Africa. What are they?
It's a fruit, of course. It looks like a strawberry and tastes like a pear.
The scripture mentions these figs, and they sound nothing like that. Why is that?
No two apples look or taste alike. The same goes for figs, and doubly so.
I'm getting the impression that this man has never even been to Africa. But why would he lie?
And I will
Так, народ, на пару сек отойду. Итак, продолжим.
She is a true miracle that will change your life as she changed mine. Many bore witness to her miracle.
What is in this book will not help me more than the answers I can find in my own heart.
She wanted to go home, but where?
Нужно с ним еще поговорить тогда, либо что-то еще разок исследовать.
I could have continued to
Ага.
What shrine should be her
Подрос уже.
This time it was the
I
Madonna
am
herself
Philip.
who answered my question.
Who are you, young man?
I will tell you again, dear brothers and sisters. The weeping Madonna
Why are
has
you hiding?
chosen you, all of you. I will tell you
Охраняшка
again,
прошла.
dear brothers and sisters.
Ладно. Вообще что-то новенькое появилось. Понятно, что это Алиена и Джека. Зачем они так прячутся-то?
Can you feel it? Brothers and sisters, you are about to witness a miracle. The Madonna knows how you have suffered. The Virgin Mother had to witness the rise and fall of her son, our Lord Jesus Christ, and never stopped believing. Kingsbridge has endured many hardships. Prior James left you before his time when you needed him the most. Your old cathedral was burned to the ground.
How do you know this?
And your new one collapsed even before construction was finished. You have suffered the ruthless destruction of your market, homes, and lives.
Dada!
All of you have lost husbands, wives, and children, family and friends.
Dada!
All of you know how it is to be hungry and afraid.
С Джеком поговорим.
Jack. Aliena.
Philip.
But this is
a miracle, isn't it? Or something along those lines.
But how?
We thought it was time to give Tommy a home.
The boy? Your boy?
Well, Philip? Do you recognize him? Our little Tommy?
Tommy? But... Just what are you doing here with these people? Do you think I wouldn't notice it's all artifice? Your shrine is an old cart with decorations, and Reynold is just a dubious man speaking nothing but lies. Remigius has heard of him, and nothing good.
The camels were a bit much, weren't they?
With the Madonna, we were able to collect donations for your priory and for Kingsbridge.
Really?
We can start anew. We can rebuild the cathedral.
What's the catch?
I'll get to be master builder.
Подвох. Разве это подвох?
Why? I've studied the cathedrals, churches, and houses they build in France and Spain. I saw how different their constructions were, with new shapes, colors, and ideas. Oh, you should have seen it. They combined rib vaulting and pointed arches. I want to do that. That's why.
Why here?
Because this is home.
The townspeople probably think that's enough to build a whole cathedral. But to me, it looks like about £100. You know, that won't even pay for a year's work.
Like all of this, it's a symbol. Enough for a fresh start.
And the Madonna will stay here. Kingsbridge will attract visitors and donations again.
You mean I should be thankful for these lies and tricks?
Jack! Aliena! You came back!
We wanted to see you, little sister.
How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. But look at you! And the little one!
Tommy.
How are the others?
Alfred left Kingsbridge. Richard shows up every now and then, and Ellen returned to the forest.
We need to visit her.
What's wrong, Mother?
I'm glad you're back.
I am too. Very glad.
She looks like she's about to cry. She will weep for your suffering, Kingsbridge.
Да, хорошо они продумали.
She knows your
Финансирование обеспечено.
What now?
The miracle.
Her eyes are wet.
Her eyes.
Look at her.
They're shining.
She cannot hold her tears any longer.
She is made of wood. It's impossible.
Why are you weeping? She is mute ever since her husband died.
The Madonna has suffered as I have. She understands.
It seems through her faith in all of your lies, Mary has found a miracle. We can't keep trying to repair Kingsbridge by ourselves. Things are not improving. We're struggling to keep things as they are.
But we can't afford to hire help.
Without farming and fairs, we're back to Prior James's time.
All these past years, my advice was good enough for you. But it appears you've changed your mind now, again.
It is time we started doing something. To wake up and make Kingsbridge what it used to be. We did before and we can do it again.
I'm not willing to accept a risk like that. Don't you remember what happened last time? My, how easily we forget.
I remember well.
And still, you put your trust into a group of random strangers to make things better. Philip, why in God's name have you stood by and let this happen? They're tricking us into giving them money for false idols.
They are giving us money.
So that we'll place this idol in our priory? Do you approve of this?
People need hope, and these travelers are giving them hope. Yes, it is a deception, but with good intentions. Mary speaks again. Is that not a true miracle?
You fell for them. You really did. And now you joyfully take part in their deceptions. I'm warning you. I cannot support a prior who tolerates heresy.
Your threat won't sway me. No matter how unconventional, their return and their gift are a blessing.
You made your decision, Philip of Gwynedd. And now, I make mine. I resign. I'm leaving the priory.
Ох, отлично. Монастырь спокойно вздохнет. Ремиги, ты уже давно был заносой в одном месте. О, пока все одни хорошие новости. Отлично. Пускай идет восвояси.
You got so big, Tommy. And you're just as shy as your father was.
Don't let him fool you. Usually, he's always up to something.
Маленький хитруга.
Tom would have been proud of you. Of both of you.
Is she still here?
Hmm?
Tom's wife.
Oh, no. Martha and I moved her to Kingsbridge. She's with Tom now.
Отлично.
He always wanted that.
Ellen, we found Jack's family in Cherbourg.
The place he came from wasn't Cherbourg, it was Cherbourg.
But... really? What were they like?
They were good people.
His grandmother said Jack looked just like him, like his father.
He does. But they never came for him or asked about him.
They thought he was dead. His ship sunk. He'd always wanted to go to England.
Have you ever heard of the White Ship?
No.
The king's family drowned.
My father was there. He was the only one who survived.
Not for long.
You told me that he was accused of stealing a chalice.
Yes. But I know he was innocent. I heard the story and had to find out what he looked like. He told me his name. I fell in love. I helped him escape. But in the end, they caught up with us.
What happened then?
They hanged him. I was there. And you were there, Jack. But you weren't born yet. He was led to the gallows. Everyone was quiet. The people somehow knew he was not a thief. But I knew for sure. He told me. He was so afraid. He didn't want to die. I didn't want him to die. And I prayed. Then I heard his voice. Quiet.
sang sweeter than ever, as if the falling melody might wing and net dissever. At dusk the hunter took
Отличная игруля, доги. Я бы сказал, даже это шедевр.
No! No!
You said that 3 men were responsible for Father's death.
Who were they?
The Sheriff of Shirring, Percy Hamley, Prior James of Kingsbridge, and Archdeacon Waleran Bygod. They showed no mercy. Neither did I. I curse you! All of you! He will return to haunt you! One day, you will be judged for what you did. Your houses shall be consumed by fire. Your life shall end in pain and agony. You shall grow old in sadness and regret. The people they killed will return to haunt them.
Да, доги, завтра полуденец.
I promised them.
Я надеюсь, справедливость восторжествует.
We welcome our new prior, Remigius. He helped to recover the bones of the Saint of Kingsbridge, Adolphus, from the hands of thieves. Adolphus already rests safely in this great cathedral of Shirring. Our master builder Alfred promised me that it will only be a matter of a few years until the cathedral will be finished. And the Earl of Shirring has promised to support us. But he has not done so for himself. No, the Earl is not a selfish man. His mother, Lady Hamley, is sick. More and more, I feel the whole of England is suffering from a sickness. The sickness of war, poverty, and most of all, heathen beliefs. I have spoken to God. I asked him, begged him to walk amongst us, to heal us. But God told me that only when this great cathedral is finished will he have a temple to reside in. No matter the cost, this shall be a towering castle to protect us from evil and false beliefs. With this cathedral, we will bring an end to the dark times.
Waleran Bygod.
Jack? What are you doing here?
My father died by your hands, Waleran. His name was Jacques Cherbourg.
How dare you talk to the bishop like that?
He died right here.
Who are you?
I know that man. He's that bastard from Kingsbridge.
That man is my husband.
You?
All of you, listen to what we have to say. From now on, Kingsbridge is protected.
By our knights, by our walls, and by the word of the king.
So whatever you do, we will defend our town, our market and fulling mills.
And our cathedral, which we shall rebuild. All workers are invited to come and work for us.
Это сильно.
Preposterous.
If you so much as try to bring harm to us, Bishop, we will make sure that you pay for everything you did.
Это сильно. И начнется новая веха противостояния. Жесть. Это, конечно, концовочка 16 главы. Так. Да, все нормально. Глава. Сейчас ее пройдем и закончим на сегодня. На следующем стриме закончим игру. Третью книгу и игру. Что 11 лет спустя? Вот это скачок. Вот это да.
It had been 3 years. 3 years of drought. 3 years of hunger and poverty. England was brought to its knees. Only our walls had kept us safe from the bands of outlaws raiding towns and villages. Bishop Waleran and William Hamley forced the workers to finish their cathedral in Shirring.
Заставили.
Many had died.
Собор построенный на крови. Не лучше затея.
The work on our own cathedral had almost come to a halt. 4 weeks the storm had raged on. It was then that our cathedral gave up its last secret.
Да ну как так-то опять?
And everything changed.
Tom, I don't think you would have liked the sight of this. I don't think you would have liked the sight of this at all.
Может, в фундаменте дело. Там земля постоянно проседает.
I know. Not plan the cathedral to be that high. I reinforce the walls, like in Saint Denis. The storm shouldn't be that much of a problem. But if it's not the storm, then what is it?
Так, найти причину. Надеюсь, мы ее реально найдем. Инструменты, молоток и зубило. Ё-моё, ты бы не стоял там. Деревянные балки. С первого взгляда с ними все в полном порядке. Северная и южная стены обеспечивают устойчивость. Слава богу.
The roof looks all right.
Стена. Неизвестно, сколько она продержится. Отсюда смотрится не так безнадежно. Огромные трещины в всю стену.
No. I don't want to break more stones loose. One day, people will fly, like birds, sailing on the wind. Rashid told me.
Она бушует уже несколько недель. Ветер ревет, и песок летит в лицо. Надеюсь, с Альена ничего не случилось. Своды.
The vaulting is cracked.
Маленькая трещина. Может, свод непрочный? И это он давит на стену и приводит к трещинам. Так. Нужно найти решение.
I'm not done here yet.
Так, не закончил, окей. А что ты хотел еще сделать? Я ж везде нажал.
If I make it worse, then we'll at least know what the problem is.
Всегда в одном и том же месте, а неспроста.
All right. One more time. If the vaulting were unstable, this part would have collapsed and the wall would retract. The cause of the problem is not up here. Tom, what would you have done now? When we erected the Eastern Wall 17 years ago, there was also a crack. Yes. No matter what we did, it always came back. But this is not the same wall. We rebuilt it. But the cause could have been the same in both cases.
Так, с камня земля. Да, в крипте. Там же потайное что-то было.
The crypt! Huh. Yes, Tom. You kept the whole foundation there as it was. But it never had to carry this much weight before. That's it! The problem must be down there.
Я это сразу сказал.
They were enraged. Bishop Henry thinks that the Pope should hear about what you wrote.
I think so, too. I would be honored if he read my book.
Филипп уже посидел.
Philip, I really am worried about you.
Джонатан какой взрослый.
There is no need for you to worry, Jonathan. It is just a book.
The problem is that the people love your sermons and what you wrote, even though most of them can't read. Your book is being copied in priories all over England.
Is that not a good thing, if our message gives people hope?
Да, хорошо.
In desperate times, hope can be a powerful force.
That is very true.
Well, I fear the bishops. They might come to believe you took that power from them.
Huh? Do you?
Вторая книга. Божественная душа. Книга написана Филиппом в 1148. В своей книге Филипп высказывает предположение, что поскольку Бог создал человека, каждый из нас носит в себе божественную искру. И хотя порой нам кажется, что Бог покинул нас, на самом деле Бог ближе к нам, чем кто-либо другой, поскольку наша душа имеет божественную сущность. Это означает, что мы не должны сидеть и ждать спасения извне, но можем изменить мир вокруг нас своими силами. Мы можем посадить семя, а Бог, в свою очередь, поможет ему расти. Философия Филиппа распространилась по всей Англии и даже по другим частям Европы, но церковь жестко критикует этот текст. В своей первой книге Филипп критиковал только фальшивые чудеса. Теперь же он заявляет, что все люди одинаково божественны. Соответственно, представитель духовенства обладает не больше божественностью, чем любой другой человек. Да. Думаю, по сей день то же самое. Дерево Джонатана. Буря все еще не сломала его. Крепкое. Джонатан скоро станет помощником приора, а ведь он до сих пор не знает, кто его отец. Филипп. Люди так истекаются послушать его проповеди. В книге он честно изложил свои мысли. Он нашел свою правду.
Have you been atop the cathedral during the storm?
Don't worry, Philip. The storm isn't as bad up there.
You shouldn't be up there risking your life. You should be with your children. Sally and Tommy have been asking for their parents all morning.
Салли еще к тому же появилась. Дочка. Семья Джека и Лиэна, 1154. С тех пор, как Ричард и Джек пообещали Уоллерану защитить Кингсбридж, они потратили много времени на укрепление города. С тех пор Уильям не решался атаковать снова. А Лиэна продолжает торговать шерстью, ведет дела в основном за пределами Ширинга. Большая часть шерсти, которой она торгует, производится в Кингсбридже, где Джек построил 2 валяльные мастерские. У Лиэны и Джека 2 детей. Томми уже 12, а младшей сестре Салли 9. Марта приглядывает за обеими, пока Джек и Лиэна работают.
The storm is tearing our east wall apart. If the storm works, I work. Jonathan, did you and the others come directly from Winchester?
Yes, we did.
What about Aliena?
She stayed a day longer for the fleece fair. She should be on her way back now.
In this storm?
We didn't expect it to get worse.
No one did.
I am sure she'll be all right.
I need to go. I think I know why the east wall is unstable.
Yes? Why is that?
I'm not sure, but I think the answer lies down in the crypt. I should hurry before it's too late.
Да, погнали. Вход в крипту у нас там. Да, вот эта самая стена.
That definitely wasn't here before. The cause of the instability must be down here. Time to get to work. Here we go.
Надеюсь, он знает, что делает. Ой. Ну, аккуратней. Фух. Завалит же. Опасно.
Dear God. These stones, they've been removed before. Whoever put them back just added some mortar on top of the stones to hide the fact that they were removed. The tile at the bottom was completely loose.
What does that mean?
I think it was an entrance.
An entrance? To where?
That's what we'll find out.
Вот это да.
Careful now. You've got the whole east wall on top of you.
Точно.
Jack?
Jack? Факел нужен. Что он там видит?
Just hit my head. It's dark in here. There's a whole room here.
A chamber.
I'll get a torch.
Philip, I'll get it. You stay here.
Вот это да. Сколько же тут песка? Похоже, часть комнаты обрушилась, поэтому стена начала трескаться. Длинная штука, похожа на гроб. Деревянный кубок для воды, по крайней мере, кажется, что так. Так. Веник? Что это такое? Похоже на веник.
Is that a coffin? Oh, there's sand everywhere. Uh-huh. It's a bed.
What?
There's a bed in here.
What? Jonathan, we need that torch.
That's not wood. It's metal. Gold, even.
Что это за место вообще?
It's made of leather. It's a whip. What is that doing here?
Плетка.
I have the torch.
All right, come in here. Should be safe.
Сейчас узнаем, что это за место. Мне просто самому интересно.
Did you know about this place?
No. No, I did not. I've seen this chalice before, when I was very young. It's the chalice of the Eucharist from Kingsbridge Cathedral. Cuthbert told me about it. They said it was stolen.
And melted down, I know. Mother told me. They also said it was my father who did it.
Did they?
So he's innocent then?
He must be.
And whoever hid the chalice is responsible for his death. They hanged him in Shiring for stealing this chalice.
James Prior.
But it was here all along.
That scourge, the whip.
Либо ремиги, он же
It
плеткой
belonged to
бил.
Prior James. I was afraid of it when I first visited Kingsbridge with Francis and Abbot Peter. Even the look of it scared me.
James. Maybe it was him. I think I saw him during the night of the fire in the cathedral. When the old cathedral burned down, there was a man in the fire. His shoulders were bloody, as if he had chastised himself.
It is you! By God and the devil!
He told me that he had sinned, that he had done something to me. Perhaps because I looked like my father.
So he confessed for framing your father while he hid the cup here?
But it couldn't have been James you saw. James died weeks before the fire.
Ну, тело-то никто не нашел.
You said they never found his body. Maybe he hid down here. Maybe that's why the bed's here.
Вот это да.
Wait. Jack, you were in the burning cathedral. What were you doing there?
Не-не-не, зачем сознаваться?
Nothing. I did not tell Philip. I wasn't ready to confess what I had done. But I could see the doubt in his eyes.
Блять, приора Джеймс. Будучи ребенком, Филипп боялся плети Джеймса. Впервые он увидел ее, когда вместе с аббатом Питером, который воспитал его и Фрэнсиса после гибели их родителей, приезжал в Кингсбридж. Спустя годы Джеймс решил, что Филипп, к тому времени уже молодой человек, уже вполне способен вести собственный приорат в лесной обители святого Иоанна. Каждый раз, когда Филипп бывал в родном соборе в Кингсбридже, он вспоминал о дне, когда впервые увидел плеть. Аббату Питеру никогда не нравилась идея, что боль может привести к спасению, но приор Джеймс верил, что самоистязание – это единственный способ очистить душу от греховных влечений плоти. После того, как Джек сказал Филиппу, что приор Джеймс был жив в тот день, когда сгорел собор, Филипп вспомнил, что несколько недель до этого хор не решался петь, поскольку слышал, как кто-то истязает себя в крипте. Может быть, они действительно слышали Джеймса? Может быть, Джеймс правда прятался в тайной комнате в крипте? Но почему? Потому что с ума сошел. Ждал расправы над собой.
Oh. Wailerin, what do you want?
Do you think it is wise to resign yourself to gluttony at times like these, while your people starve on the streets of Shirring?
Don't play the saint. You promise them miracles. And you make them pay. But your miracles never work out, do they?
God works in ways that we cannot comprehend.
My mother cannot walk. You failed. Again. What do you want?
I came about a book.
The Bible again?
No. Philip of Gwynedd wrote it. And the church is displeased. Bishop Henry was enraged. This is our chance, William.
Your chance, you mean? If you need forces, talk to Walter or Ugly. I don't care. I built your fucking cathedral. I'm done.
It's not just about Philip. It's about Aliena and her family.
Don't mention that name.
But have you not heard? King Stephen and Maud's son just signed a peace treaty.
I don't care.
You should care.
I said I don't. Now leave, and don't come back unless I ask for you. Where's my wife?
They've not returned yet, Lord William.
Then get me a whore! Now!
Ему реально на все плевать. Окончание войны. В 1154. Спустя 15 лет войны между Стефаном и Мод, Англия была разгромлена больше, чем когда-либо. После финального сражения у Уоллингфорда сын императрицы Мод Генрих II и Стефан договорились перемирии. Позднее договор был подписан в Винчестере и Вестминстере. Согласно договору, Стефан останется королем до своей смерти, затем трон унаследует Генрих II. Также в договоре говорилось о том, что все решения относительно земель, принятые Стефаном, отменяются, а земли возвращают свой статус времен правления Генриха I. Это означало, что графство Ширинг снова принадлежит наследникам Бартоломью, а не Хамлеям. Но кто решится выступить против Уильяма Хамлея? А вот это уже очередной поворот. А вот это уже интересно. Вот это да. Что ж ты одна блуждаешь-то? Ё-моё. Держись, Ален, держись. Муж, дети, семья. Вот будет прикол, если нас встретиться с женой Уильяма в этой хижине, который тоже пережидает бурю. Вот же домик, ты не хочешь туда пойти? Да? Я так думаю. Сейчас они встретятся. Женщины.
I am sorry for intruding, but I must ask you for shelter. I was on my way from the Fleece Fair in Winchester to Kingsbridge and got caught in the storm.
Nasty, isn't it?
Yes. And it's getting worse and worse. Thank you for your hospitality.
Someone help me!
Что такое? Кто там? Не обращать внимания.
Please! I need help!
Да-да-да, пойдем поможем. Я думал, это в домик. А где? О, нашел.
Hello? Oh dear, are you hurt?
My horse! It fell! I can't move!
Take my hand! We'll get you inside!
Да по-любому его жена. Я прям панкую.
We'll only be here until it's safe to leave. We won't bother you. I'm Aliena. What's your name?
Elizabeth.
Breathe, Elizabeth. You're safe now.
Mm-hmm.
Не нравится мне это место. Парень с мужем, вот какой-то тип подозрительный. Крестьяне наблюдают за нами. Стоит думать, о чем я говорю. Это из-за нее что? Старая женщина довольно спокойная. Интересно, переживут ли голод старые и слабые? Эта буря оставит шрамы на нашей земле. Поискать, чем ее согреть? Давай поищем. Вот огонь.
I don't like this. Hold your horses. We'll see what happens.
Чего? Все время смотрит сюда. Может, он ее знает? Или меня? Опасно. Огонь. Комната полна дыма. Огонь всех согревает. Трудно дышать. Горшок. В горшке еще осталась поклепка. Довольно жидкая на вид. Там что, копыта плавают? Мясо. Кусок копченого мяса. Может, не первой свежести, но питательный. Редко зрелище в голод. Дым. Не разглядишь, что там творится. Дым заполнил всю комнату. Прям, в доме прям костер жгут.
You should get out of this place as soon as you can.
Be assured, I will leave as soon as the storm ceases.
What's she doing now?
I don't know. I think she's freezing.
Так я же нашел чем согреть.
Maybe we should be kinder to her.
No, they don't deserve her kindness.
I hope the storm spares your homes and fields.
If only we had that much left.
We still have our lives.
And our dignity.
You still have yours.
Какие-то людоеды, не знаю, не нравятся они мне. Нечем ее собирать, давай, говори.
Oh, you're so kind. Many people would have let me die. People don't listen to me. My entourage didn't even notice they lost me.
Who?
My husband and his entourage.
A fine husband you have. I divorced my last one for less than that.
Divorced? Oh, he's just been beside himself ever since his mother.
Maybe now you'll understand what loss feels like. And what you people are doing to us.
Stop bullying her! Can't you see she's upset?
Они, видимо, ее узнали, а Лена не
How do they know you? This isn't right.
Oh, I'm used to it. I guess that's how it is when your husband holds an office like that. He has to do a lot of things people don't like. And sometimes they recognize me, too.
Wait. Is your husband the Earl of Shirring?
I thought you knew.
William Hamley.
Oh, please don't abandon me too. I swear, I'm not... I can't.
I used to know him when I was a girl.
Really?
What's he like now?
I loathe him with all my heart. I had accepted the arrangement with goodwill, but he had other plans. How do you know him?
Напрямую скажем, да.
He wanted to marry me when I was your age. Apparently he likes young girls, no matter how old he gets.
You too were supposed to marry him. How come you didn't?
He was a beast. So I refused.
You refused him?
Да, ты знаешь, так можно.
A lot of misery.
Oh, you're so courageous. I wish I was like you. I can't even stand up to the servants.
Don't act like you didn't have a hand in the downfall of this land. For years he roamed across the country to raid, rape and kill.
I'm sorry.
He's no earl. After all he's taken from us, we should take something from him too.
Elizabeth, походу, сейчас будет.
She has nothing to do with this. Don't you dare touch her. Can't you see she's another one of his victims?
Oh, give over. She's in on it too.
Can you even imagine how it must be to be a child married to Hamley? The abuse and the humiliation every single day. I'm so sorry.
I'm crying because you know too.
Enough to know your pain.
I just don't know what to do anymore.
Tom, where the hell am I supposed to tether this horse?
It's Walter. He's looking for me.
Kingsbridge, зачем?
Come with me to Kingsbridge. People will take care of you there.
That should do it.
Мне кажется, война и так неизбежна.
Walter.
You? I've not seen you in a long time. William would be very pleased if I brought him your head.
No! Don't harm her. If it wasn't for her, I'd be dead. She saved me from the storm.
Did she now? Come on, we have to get back to the castle. We've lost too much time already.
Ах, не знаю.
Elizabeth stays with me.
No, she doesn't.
Thank you for saving me and protecting me from these people.
Come on now, we need to get going. William.
Возможно, когда придет время, она замолвит за нас словечко и поможет нам как-то. Раз по законам теперь земли вернулись нам наши. О супруге Уильяме записка Лиены, 1154. Отказ Лиены надолго отбил у Уильяма охоту жениться. Однажды его мать выступила с предложением, указав на юную девушку, дочь Харальда из Веймаунта. Такс. Богатого рыцаря и сторонника Стефана. 14-летнюю девочку зовут Элизабет. Поначалу Уильям считал, что из нее не выйдет невеста для него, но поскольку он не хотел прилагать никаких усилий к тому, чтобы найти себе более подходящую жену, он принял это предложение матери. Епископ Уоллерана венчал их в часовне Эрлскасла. На большой пир по случаю бракосочетания были приглашены все более или менее важные персоны. Элизабет – нежная девушка, которая польщена честью быть выбранной в качестве графской жены, но вскоре выясняет, что Уильям презирает ее за стремление ему угодить. Да уж, ее участи не позавидуешь. Чего, простите? Вы это видите? Вы промолчали, когда Уолтер вошел в хижину. Я наоборот не промолчал, я нажал. Она сказала же. Да был вариант промолчать, но я нажал другой вариант. Это что-то глюк такой? Промолчали. Я вступил... Что-то Лена вступилась за Элизабет. Вот это да. Разбойники. Ох, ничего хорошего не сулит это слово. Ничего.
Dear Francis, the letters I have written to you over the years surely could be bound into a book. But only you know what my words in those letters amount to. It is different with the book I have written. It has found its way into priories throughout England and beyond. Because of my book, I may have to talk to Bishop Henry. But that is not the only thing that keeps me awake tonight.
Что же еще? Да, находки в крипте, это точно.
Behind a wall in our crypt, Jack discovered a hidden room. We do not know who built it. But it is likely that Prior James hid there, even after he was said to have drowned. That means he was alive when we met in Kingsbridge on New Year's Day, the day of his burial. And Jack told me he saw a man in the church the night it burned down. Was that him? And if so, did he burn in the fire that night?
Написать Kingsbridge.
The dust storm and the drought are taking their toll on all of us. Thanks to our town wall, we are safe from the Earl and the outlaws. We've heard of places nearby being raided. We believe the attackers were William Hamley's men. We have enough food to last us another few weeks. But life has come to a halt. Martha believes there will be rain soon. But the storm is only a harbinger of rain. I hope that she is right.
Я книги.
Jonathan worries about my book. The Divine Soul. In Winchester, he heard that Bishop Henry was less than pleased by what I had written. I am not naive enough to pretend I do not know why. I wrote that hope is godly. And since God made each of us, hope and salvation are only to be found within ourselves. Henry sells hope, and I am giving it away for free. If the church should ask me to clarify my position, of course I shall do so. But I feel I must give our people what they need in these desperate times. And how could I write anything else, if this is what I truly believe? It must be well after midnight. With you, I can be honest about what truly troubles me. Jack said that he was in the cathedral the night it burned down. And something told me he was responsible. He didn't say it out loud, but there was something in his eyes. I could see the truth. I know I am right.
My God. Save yourselves! The saint! We must save the saint! Fire! The whole roof is in flames!
My God!
Don't go in there! Adolphus! The saint! We must save him! No! No! Don't go!
And as horrible as it may sound, I cannot find it in my heart just now to forgive Jack. Maybe because this confession comes too late. And from a man who I have learned to trust.
То есть неважно, признался бы он или нет.
This is the truth.
Видите, раз он говорит, что признался слишком поздно.
I should get some air, Francis. The storm has settled down.
Окей, народ, все, прогуляемся в следующем стриме, на котором мы закончим проходить эту замечательную, не побоюсь этого слова, даже великолепную игру. На сегодня все, народ. Спасибо всем, кто смотрел. Завтра будет Паладинс, как обычно. На следующий день после Паладинса мы закончим эту игру. Все, всем удачи и пока.